All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the 2 1/4 high-rise extension pack. And it's, what I want people to understand about this one is it's the same exact thing as our hotel pack. So if you look up in the right bottom corner of the hose bed there, that load is exactly the same as this load, which is also exactly the same as the modified Minuteman load. It's just a larger diameter hose. So we're gonna load it exactly the same, but for the purpose of demonstration, we'll start from the beginning and we'll go through the whole process. So what we do is we set the 2 hoses out. We have obviously the opposite ends here, but if I'm looking at it from the angle that I'm at, I want the female to be on the right and the male to be on the left at the very end. And so when I connect these together, and I look down the line, I have my female on the right, my male on the left. From that point, I'm gonna scoot over to the male side and I'm gonna look back across to the female side. We could measure the distance of the flaps in a couple different ways. So we got a 6-foot New York hook here. 6 feet's our measurement. If I set this down and then I just folded from here, that would be my measurement for my flaps. If I don't have this on hand, you can kind of tell that most wingspans of normal size are gonna be about that distance. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we wanna get it around 6 feet. So we use the New York hook as kind of our basic measurement, but you can also get away with the wingspan. From now, once we get that measurement, all we're gonna do is start pulling that male side to us. So I'll have Brian help me. You can go down to that side over there. Actually, I'll be on that side, you come over here. He's just gonna make that fold and he's gonna hand that fold all the way down to me. And then what I wanna do is I wanna get as close as I can to this piece of hose here, and I'm gonna load it, we're gonna load it super tight all the way up to the coupling. Okay, we start to get towards the end. What we want to do is we want to grab our nozzle. So I'll get the nozzle for you. We'll stick that on there. And just kind of like we were showing with the 2 1/2 and just like we're showing with the hotel pack, we want this top piece here to be the length of the pack. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of steal a little bit. We're going to steal a little bit from the bottom. And we're going to create a long top here so we can enclose everything with the straps. So that's the main idea, is to get a long on the top, a long on the bottom. When the straps close over it, we don't have a little flap hanging out anywhere. So now him and I are gonna kind of work in coordination, and we're gonna get this piece on the bottom and we're gonna flip this piece up to the top. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It might take a little bit of moving around and just getting it in the right spot, but once we get it, we can either stick a knee on it, hold it down however we can, and then we're just going to take this piece of hose and we're going to stick it down right and get it flush with the bottom here. And from here, we're just going to load it upwards back to us now. You can put that underneath there if you want. Oh, yeah, right there at the same distance. So now we're gonna go straight into that as much as we can, get it squished down, get it nice and tight. And the female is gonna finish towards me in the back. So again, we want to make sure that we have our last piece long. So what we'll do is we'll create the long and then we'll steal from the inside, kind of this bottom piece, and you can kind of pull back. Yep, just like that. And we're going to create that long finished top, the top, and then the bottom's long as well. And so from now, we'll grab our straps. So now we got our straps. What we want to do is they're going to be the Velcro, you want it facing down As we come underneath, we want to make sure we capture all the flaps. And then what I like to do is I like to make sure that this D-ring stays towards the bottom as much as I can. So as I start to strap it, it's going to want to come up the side like that. I just want to keep putting it down at the bottom again as I pull up on it. Just keep putting it down there. And then that just allows me to get the best cinch I could get on it as I'm coming around. Yep, and then we'll do that last one. And we'll try to capture this as best we can right there in the middle so we don't get that falling out. Again, keeping it down there at the very bottom. As we pull it up, it's going to want to creep on us, so we'll pull it back down. And then, yep, once we get it there, good cinch. So the reasoning for these straps being so tight and D-rings aren't a big deal is because when we deploy this out, usually we're going to need to go far away with it. So if that's the case, we just don't want it falling apart. So being kind of rough with it, the place it's at on the rig, it's kind of hard to get to. You're going to want to yank on it a lot. It might come apart if it had less straps on it. So it's okay to get it cinched down pretty tight. When you get it to where you need to be, you can undo them all and keep the pack together and utilize it just like you would use our hotel packs or our modified Minuteman. We're gonna put it on its side. All right. But the thing I recommend is that in the mornings when you come out to check, because what will happen is as you drive down the road, that'll push back. So just pulling them closer and then pulling this one closer, and when you come out to check. The other thing that happens is that Minuteman also will kind of creep itself back too, but it's easy to pull back towards the front. So just checking to make sure they're flush. If you let it go for too long, it'll get way back in there. So we're looking at maybe putting like hooks or something in, or something like you could take this strap and strap it to the seatbelt buckle, something that keeps it there. We just don't want to create obstructions here. So yeah, they should all, if you kind of look at them all, from this one tilted on its side to this one to that one, they should all look identical, and they all deploy identical, and they're all loaded identical. So that's kind of the idea. You have flat loads everywhere, 2, 3, and then you have finishes that all look the same.